Alright guys, alright. Let's do 3 more videos for the day. So you're technically going to get 4 videos, so like and subscribe. But yeah, Wisconsin's protesters tear down statue of Civil War hero who fought to end something bad. Just goes to prove this whole tearing down statues and tearing down monuments isn't because the country is ist. It's because they just want to end civilization as we know it and replace it with communism because they're communists. What do you expect? The Black Lives Matter leaders, the two females, they're both Marxists. Is anybody actually surprised by that? Like, if they're literally tearing down statues of people who ended something bad, and I can't say the word because I'm trying to keep monetization, then, you know, you must wonder at some point, okay, fine, but why are you tearing down the statues you're supposed to be pro? If someone sits there and says, we're against this, but then tears down the statue of someone who actually fought on their side, it makes you wonder if it's not actually about that, right? That would be my logical conclusion, but let's jump into it. So protesters toppled 2 statues that allegedly attacked a state senator outside Wisconsin Capitol building on Tuesday night, according to the state's governor. Demonstrators began assembling throughout the day near the Capitol in Madison, Wisconsin. However, they became agitated following the arrest of a black man who brought a baseball bat and a megaphone into a nearby restaurant, according to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. It's like he was armed with a weapon. What happened in Madison last night presented a stark contrast from the peaceful protests we have seen across our state in recent weeks. They've not all been peaceful, have they? Including significant damage to state property, Democrat Governor Tony Evans tweeted Wednesday morning. We are prepared to activate the Wisconsin National Guard to protect state buildings and infrastructure, Evans added. Oh, sounds like Trump might get his wish. The protesters tore down the Forward and Colonel Hans Christian Haig statues. The Forward statue, which has stood outside the Capitol since 1895, was designed to be an allegory of devotion and progress, according to the Wisconsin Historical Society. Now, Neg was a Norwegian immigrant who fought for the North in the Civil War, according to Wisconsin's Historical Society. He commanded an entire brigade which forced the Confederate troops to retreat through Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. Haig was shot in the battle in Georgia in September 1863 and died the next morning. So, here's a guy that single-handedly, probably, and I don't think I'm overstating this, changed the course of the war, was an immigrant who died a hero on the battlefield. Here's a statue that is literally a guy who fought to end the same thing they're supposedly in favor of ending. And instead of praising the statue or worshipping the statue or whatever the weirdest leftists do, they sit there and they tear it down. It's like they're a bunch of communists that want to tear down capitalism and replace it with communism. It's weird, eh? Democrat Senator Tim Carpenter was allegedly attacked in the night as protesters turned violent. Carpenter was punched and kicked in the head, he tweeted Wednesday morning. So not only are they now attacking Republicans, but they're also attacking Democrats. It's weird. It's like they just want to take power for themselves and get rid of all the existing power structure. Weird, that, isn't it? Any single act of injustice against one person is less justice for all, and the people who committed these acts of violence will be held accountable, Everest tweeted. I don't think he was really caring about that one as someone else, though, was he? Although my thoughts are with Tim Carpenter, MKE, who was among the individuals attacked last night, and wish him a quick recovery. Statues and monuments have been under attack across the country in the aftermath of George Floyd. We all know what happened to Floyd. We don't have to say that again, because obviously we're trying to keep monetization. It's a healthy expression of people saying, let's get some priorities here, and let's remember the sins and mistakes of this nation and nation made, and let's not celebrate it. Democrat Governor Andrew Cuomo said on Tuesday. Cuomo's an idiot. If they're literally tearing down statues of people who end or fought to end what you think is bad, and I would agree with you on what's bad in that, but anyway, not what I mean, then at the end of the day, it's got nothing to do with that. Let's use something that won't get me demonetized. Say I want to end Coca-Cola addiction, because Coca-Cola, the drink, is bad and it's got caffeine. And I have a person who was a scientist who proved it was bad, and there was a statue of that person. Why would I want to tear down that statue if I was in support of that person? If they're willing to tear down the statue, that's probably a bad example, but you know what I mean. If they're willing to tear down the statue, chances are it's got nothing to do with what they're saying it's about. When they're literally attacking their own side, and don't worry, Cuomo, they will attack you sooner or later, buddy. And we'll expect the about face then. But I was going to say, but at the end of the day, if they're literally attacking your own side and your own statues, maybe it's not about that. Just a thought. Cuomo also reiterated his support for the removal of the Roosevelt statue outside the American Museum of Natural History in New York City. Rioters attempted to tear down the monument of the former President Andrew Jackson outside the White House on Monday night. Protesters toppled a Christopher Columbus statue in Richmond, Virginia, and beheaded a Columbus statue in Boston on the 9th of June. Columbus statue outside Minnesota's capital was torn down on the 10th of June. The statue of the Confederate President Jefferson Davis in Richmond, and George Washington statue in Chicago, and the statue of the Confederate General Robert E. Lee in Montgomery, Alabama, have also been attacked in the weeks following the death. So here's a bit of information on the Ford statue. Received an unusual honor for a woman of her day, blah, blah, blah. So was it created by a woman even? Wow. The such is. So this is all about the art. Yeah, that's a different thing. All right. Look, at the end of the day, what's my view on this? Look, at the end of the day, they're just communists. That's all it is. This whole group, like at the end of the day, it's. And by the way, there's been a 4th shooting in the Chaz zone or Chop zone. So, 4 shootings in 3 days. Wow. But look, at the end of the day, the fact is that they're tearing down these statues just goes to prove that it's got absolutely nothing to do with what they're claiming. This is all about power. This is what it's about. They don't want to tear down these statues because he was an ist. They want to tear down these statues because they want that power. They want that institutional power that comes with politicians and presidents and monuments and statues. The people, they want that to be them. They want to be the next statue. They want a statue in their honor so that they are the ones that are worshipped. Because we have a whole bunch of kids who have been brought up their whole life getting participation trophies. When the whole participation trophies came out, I was against it because I said, it's stupid. You're going to end up making a bunch of spoilt brats. And boy, if it looks like I might have been right, looks like we got a whole bunch of spoilt brats that want to tear down statues of everybody else because, no doubtably, they want to go putting up their own statues. They want to put up statues of Marx and all these sort of people. Well, sorry, but it doesn't work like that. On the bright side, tearing down these statues and defacing them is good for the economy. So you're helping the American economy in a sad way because they're going to be replaced. So you're not really achieving anything except helping Donald Trump. Well done. Because I guarantee you now, these statues are going to be fixed. They're going to be fixed. They're going to be replaced. They're not going to just leave the statues down. I no doubt. I'd be surprised if they did. But hey, I'm wrong once a day, I suppose. But yeah, I would say these statues are going to get fixed. And guess what? It's going to cost money. So the government's going to pay for it. And spend money, and businesses are going to profit. And it's only small. But at the end of the day, all this rioting, all this looting and everything like that, people are going to pay money to fix up their stores. People are going to go through and get window quotes and get windows fixed, and they're going to claim it on insurance, and that's going to put a whole bunch of people back in the workforce. You're literally helping America recover. So thank you. And please come again. But apart from that, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. To be honest, I just think this is absolutely ridiculous. This is nothing more than a bunch of spoilt brats who are communists who want to tear down the statues of your existing historical figures because they don't like capitalism. They don't like this social contract that we have where capitalism is probably the best of any situation. Is it perfect? No. But I tell you what, it sure beats communism. And especially what's happening with Chaz right now, or Chop. Like, 3 days they've had 4 shootings. This is the utopia the American progressives want. And the stupid progressives keep voting for it. They just recently elected Alexandria Cortez back in again. What? Why? Why would you do that? Well, because they've drank the Kool-Aid. And anybody that doesn't drink the Kool-Aid is, cancelled. Cancel culture. We've had cancel culture come for Angry Joe now because God knows why. I think it has something to do with his reviews on The Last of Us, but regardless. But yeah, it ended up, looks like these allegations are probably going to be false, and looks like Angry Joe is now seeking legal counsel, which I presume is obviously a good idea, and I encourage him to do that. But at the end of the day, I would love to know what Angry Joe's stance was back during the Kavanaugh days. Maybe I should go check his timeline. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, we'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great night and enjoy.